Hello, this is Tia and welcome to another video. Today we're doing another chapter inside of Hermitcraft Season Clockwork. We are in story 4, which is in Pearl's perspective. If you haven't read any of the other stuff, you can do so. And yeah, like all my Clockwork Chronicles stuff, I don't know if all of them will be out as all of it will be out when this comes out. So, I mean, not all of it will be out. There will be some stories that I haven't shared yet, but I'm doing the best I can. I'm enjoying it. I hope you guys are enjoying it. It's just something I wanted to do. I don't really care about whether or not people like it or not. I mean, if people really want to listen to all of them, they can. And that's not a problem. I don't mind. Because, yeah, it's a good story. And, I also enjoyed reading them in live streams, but right now that's not possible. I mean, it is possible. It's just really annoying, and I'd rather do it in video. Anyway, let's get to the chapter. Chapter 2. Pearl could see her and Jem's humble homes ahead, the sun shining just over the trees as the afternoon turned into evening. As she glanced back to see Impulse and the member of the class they had seen in the base right behind her. Xavier. Jim was just a few feet ahead, guiding them back home as the YouTuber glanced around, seeing there were no monsters about just yet. Glad to see there were no monsters about just yet. Ay. What do you think the best place for this thing is? Pearl asked, Impulse, as they neared her house first. Probably someplace accessible from various angles, like a hallway, Impulse replied. Your upstairs hall. Whoa, careful with that one. Your upstairs hall should be good. Alright. Pearl nodded as she noticed Impulse handing one of the machines to the man with him, instructing the man to set it up in Jem's house, as Jem followed him. This repetitiveness is before I gave him a name. Probably to make sure he didn't get lost. Pearl led Impulse into her house and up the stairs, finding an open space between two rooms that she hadn't been sure what to do with. That's perfect, Impulse said eagerly. Mind lending me a hand? Pearl nodded as she helped the YouTuber set up the little gadget, securing it to the wall as it activated, blinking a light a couple of times before holding it. Bright and alert screen slid from the right side of the machine, showing icons of each of the hermits in the area. Well, that's a good sign, Impulse said excitedly. I haven't even set up the other thing yet. Shouldn't be too difficult to connect it all together. That's good, Pearl replied as she looked at the screen, seeing Jem's icon light up with a green circle, which received a positive response from her companion. Let me guess, it's active. It's working, so far, the YouTuber confirmed. Almost too good, really. It's not a bad thing, right? Pearl asked curiously. Not necessarily. I just expected to see more glitches or flaws in the system, YouTuber replied with a frown. I guess we should test it then, shall we? Pearl nodded as she pressed on Jem's icon, noticing that the other hermits had a red light around their icons, probably suggesting they would need to be connected. The light seemed a bit dimmer than the green light. She didn't pay too much mind as Jem's icon began to glow, as a red light emitted from the machine, as she waited for a moment. Let's go see if Jem got it. Impulse cut in as they went to one of the rooms facing Jem's house and opened it. Open the window. He opened the window. No! Not the door thing all over again. Almost the door thing all over. Oh. Hollering out loudly. A moment passed before the window at Jem's house opened, as she showed a thumbs up. We're looking good, Jem shouted in addition. We got the signal. Awesome, Impulse hollered back. I'll turn it off for now. You two meet us back over here, alright? Sure. Jem exclaimed back as she closed the window, as Impulse walked back to the gadget, pressing the button again as it turned off, frowning. That's probably not what you wanted to happen, Pearl guessed. Oh, the more secure system and a way to turn it off. That only we know, the Impulse stated. Now, this is looking good. That's great. Pearl smiled as the two of them went back downstairs, being greeted by Jem and the man from the closet. I can't wait to see this in action, Jem said happily when the two of them made it down the rest of the stairs. It looks so cool. Thanks, Impulse said with a chuckle. Spent a good bit of time on that, using some of the tech from the communicator. I knew it could contact people outside the world, or in it, but this is a more remote way of doing it, where we don't have a possible way to call somebody help, especially over being attacked. Especially true in the lovely world, when most of the people there can't talk. I think this will work, giving us time, Pearl agreed. You should probably get back. It's getting dark out. Jem and I can work on the miracle kits tomorrow and get everything ready. We can see if other hermits could help, Impulse replied. I'm sure they can get additional brewing stands and blaze powder for you to use, as well as other wards. That would be great, Jem agreed, stifling back a yawn. Pearl's right. It's getting late, and I'm ready to go call it a night. I'll leave you two to it then, Impulse proclaimed with a smile. Good night. See you tomorrow, Pearl said with a nod, watching as the YouTuber and his escort disappeared into the night, leaving her and Jem alone. When are we gonna get nice escorts? Jem asked quietly, with a sad smile. Soon, I guess. Whenever they can find 3 people to help us, Pearl replied. After all, Green still doesn't have one. Right! Jem nodded, glancing over at Pearl. You think he'll be okay with it on his own, though? We're on our own and we're fine, Pearl admitted. True, but he's basically on his own. He doesn't necessarily have someone super close by. Jem frowned. Well, these gadgets, I think, will help a bit. Jem told her gently. Besides, there are hermits nearby he can go to if he needs help. You're right, Jem nodded. Just after what I heard about his previous escort. I know. Pearl replied, putting a hand on her shoulder. It's a lot riskier for everyone involved. We've got this, though. Right, Jem said with a smile. I'll be heading off to bed now. I'll see you tomorrow. Then? Tomorrow. Pearl agreed as she watched her friend leave the house, closing the door behind her as she disappeared into the darkness. Pearl went over to the window, watching as her friend reappeared at her door for one moment before disappearing inside. It's going to be a busy day tomorrow, and she couldn't wait to get started. It's all coming together rather nicely. Chapter 3. Pearl opened her eyes to the morning sun pouring into her room as she sat up in bed, wiping the sleepers from her eyes as she looked around her room. There wasn't much to it, just enough to satisfy the needs that she had. She pulled back the sheets of the bed sheets. Why? And jumped out, quickly making it before going to her bedroom door, deciding to get something to eat first for the morning. Once she was settled with that, she went towards her front door, opening it to let in the cool air of the morning. It was fresh and crisp. If the autumn had a particular taste of maple, crumbly leaves, and flowers, then this would be it. Over here, Pearl, Jem's voice echoed through the landscape as Pearl followed the sound of her voice with her eyes before seeing a little table area with half a dozen brewing stands. She noticed that her friend wasn't alone, seeing 2 young men nearby as well, 4 other hermits. Nice to see you on this lovely morning, one of them said cheerfully with a wave as Pearl walked over to them. You came over to help, I reckon, Pearl guessed with a smile. Well, we heard you might need a little stuff for some kits we've heard about. The second one said simply. Having some hands will make the job faster, but not. Certainly would, the YouTuber nodded. I appreciate it. Beat-ups Tango with it. Correct, Tango said with a laugh. We came here bright and early, with some extra goodies as well. No, I'm not doing any impersonation. I'm sorry. Fantastic, Jem said excitedly. We could get this done in time for when Impulse finishes up his little gadget. Yeah, Pearl nodded with a smile. We can make it part of the care package. Sounds like a good plan. Beat-Up started. How much will it cost, though? Should it cost anything? Jem asked curiously. Doesn't have to, Beat-Up admitted sheepishly. Just curious, is all. I think lives are more valuable than diamonds at this point. But fair. Tangle dipped in, taking out a fresh trio of healing potions and putting them in one of the available boxes. They didn't say much more, as the four of them tended to the brewing stands, making sure there were fuel and making the potions as strong as possible. It had a strong effect that way, and would be good in emergencies. As they were working, there was suddenly a loud bang as an explosion echoed through the forest behind them, and all four of them instinctively jumped in fright. Pearl could hear the faint sounds of crackling afterwards, like a firework going off. What was that? Jem asked nervously. Pearl put down what she was doing and glanced toward the woods. I don't know, but that definitely sounded like a firework. A really powerful one. Should we go check it out to make sure everything's alright? Beat-Up asked with uncertainty. Our escorts told us to stay here while they patrolled. Tango warned him. I'm sure they're going to check it out to make sure it's not anything dangerous. Alright, the other YouTuber nodded. As Pearl watched them get back to work, she still hesitated for a long moment, feeling the tingle of an urge to check it out herself. It was too risky, though, especially if they didn't know for sure who it was. Fireworks hadn't been the ones given to them for emergencies only. Plus, they didn't see the explosion. There was no way of knowing where it even had come from either. 5 minutes after she returned to what she was doing, passed before she heard another firework go off. As she turned around, just in time to see the red sparkles in the sky, not too far from them. Something's going on, Bill said simply. I'm going to go check it out. I'm going with you, Jem insisted, putting away another potion as she went over to her house, probably to grab her wings. Should we alert the cause or something? Tango asked nervously. What about the gadget you were talking about? It's only set up here, Pearl said simply. I don't think Impulse was able to set it up anymore anywhere else yet. Pearl ran into her own house before the young man could say any more, but she snatched her wings and some non-explosive rockets as she ran out again. Careful, Beat-Up warned. We will, Pearl nodded as she spotted Jem coming out as well, as she jumped into the sky, launched by the firework in her hand as she glided towards where she'd seen the firework, knowing Jem was not too far behind. It didn't take too long before they arrived in the area. Hearing a commotion below, Pearl landed gracefully in the trees as she glanced down in the forest earth below them. She could see two figures down there, one in a camouflaged uniform and the other seemed familiar. His car, Jem said in a hushed whisper. What is he doing all the way over here? Not sure, Pearl whispered back. Stop struggling so much, YouTuber, the man in the uniform grunted. You don't have to manhandle me like that. I already told you. I didn't see anything, Scar said quickly. You just told me a moment ago you saw everything, the man snapped back as a yelp came from the YouTuber. Now stop struggling. It's better for the both of you if you behave. Wait, Pearl said quietly. What's he talking about? I don't know, but we need to do something, Jem said sternly. For all we know, this could be a trap. There could be more of them, the YouTuber interjected. She heard another grunt as the man down there finally pinned his prisoner down. Doesn't look like it, Jem said calmly. You go down first. I'll be right behind you. On it, Pearl replied as she readjusted herself before leaping off the treetops and landing in front of the two newcomers. And they both looked up in surprise. Pearl! Sky said in relief. You have no idea how glad I am to see you. What's the meaning of this? Pearl asked, glancing over at the man with a stern expression. I don't believe I recognize you from the group here. I'm here on my own important matters, the man retorted. I was just going to take this one back home after he ran away from us. I saw you take Rian, Scar snapped angrily. I doubt you were taking him back home either. You practically chased him out. Be quiet, the man sneered as he pulled him in and arms behind him in an attempt to bind him. Something clearly isn't measuring up here, Pearl said curiously. If you needed help, why didn't you ask us? I'm not too far from here, after all. I don't need your help to do my job, the man sneered coldly. And what exactly is that job? She pressed. It's none of your business, the man growled angrily. You're really testing my patience. Well, then you have a pretty short fuse, Pearl said nonchalantly. I'd suggest you get off and get on your way, if you know what's best for you. That's just it. I don't want to, the man chuckled. I was told to make sure this one didn't do anything stupid. How? Scar tested. Telling my friends what your boss wants to do? Exactly, the man said darkly. I'm afraid it's a bit too late to do anything about it anyway, regardless of what you do, YouTuber. I highly doubt that, Scar said sourly. He struggled under the man's grip. Pearl could see Jem appearing from behind the two figures, from the shadows, quietly weaving closer and sneaking closer and closer. They were ready, and they were sure there was only one guy to deal with. You have one more chance to walk away, Pearl warned the man. Try it, the man sneered as he held out his captain harder. I dare you. Dare accepted. Just said from behind the man as she grabbed him and yanked him off the YouTuber as Scar scrambled to his feet, slipping behind Pearl like she was his protective shield. The man tossed her off him as she gracefully rolled onto the forest ground and got to her feet. This is just unacceptable, the man replied as he shook his head. He glanced over at Scar with a dark glare as he added, But he knows there will be consequences. Not if we stop you first, Scar hollered from behind Pearl. She smiled. Nothing was taking this man down, no matter what came his way. Very well, but don't say I didn't warn you, the man scowled as he ran off. Jem starting to go for him before she stopped, glancing back at the two of them warily. Pearl gestured her over as she turned to face Scar, who was still staring at where the man had disappeared, before noticing her watching him. I guess I have to say thank you. The man smiled slyly. You have a bit of explaining to do. Pearl said lightly. She pointed back to her glasses. Somewhere that we can't be overheard. All right, Scar said with a nod. Can't be too long, though. There's no telling what that man is putting Korean through right now. What man? Jem asked. Mr. A? No. Scar shook his head as a sour taste appeared in Pearl's mouth. The other guy. Right. Jem nodded, glancing nervously at her friend. Let's get back and get this sorted. Then we can send out a search and rescue party. Pearl replied as she walking back to where Tango and B-Dubs would be waiting for. Hopefully, it wouldn't take too long to figure out the situation and get the help they needed. Unfortunately, this is where we're going to have to end it. I'm sorry. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, I will see you in the next one, whatever that may be. Be sure to leave any thoughts, ideas, theories down in the comments, and yeah, I will see you in the next one, whatever that may be.